Okay, this is from the final review, and this is find the intercepts for the graph of the equation. So what that means, this graph did not come with your problem. This I put into this video. Okay, so what your problem has is just this right here. And if you'll notice this format, this is an equation, a linear equation. It's not in the slope-intercept form. It's not in the y equals mxb form. It's in the standard form, ax plus by equals c. You could put a 1 in front of this y as always, and then you'd have that form. 2 being the a, 1 being the b, and then this 2 being the c. So this a is the 2, this b is the 1. Now, we can solve this problem without having to change it into this form. You can change it into this form and use that to help you. But what I'm going to do is show you the quick way that we don't really need to do that. And that is based on the idea that to solve for the y-intercept, you replace x with 0 and solve for y. And that is because where x is 0, that's because it's based on this idea. Where x equals 0, the y becomes the y-intercept. And so what I mean by that is this y here is the y-intercept when this x equals 0. So if you were to have a slope and a y-intercept there, you could put this in for 0 and you would just get y equals the y-intercept. So that does work for the standard form. If you plug in x equal to 0 here and solve for this y, that y will be the y-intercept. And I'll show you why that works. First, let's just go through this little exercise. So we have this equation, 2x plus 1y equal 2. And if we insert x equal to 0, so then we'll have 2 times 0 plus y equals 2. So now we can solve for the y because that's the only letter in the problem. So when you multiply 2 times 0, you get 0, and then that would be plus y equal 2. And then, of course, 0 plus y is just y, so y equal 2. And this is the y-intercept. Okay, so what that means is on the graph, this is a point on the line that looks like this, 0, 2, where x is 0 and y is 2. So this is the x, and that's the y. So x is 0, and then y is 2. So that point is right on the y-axis. But what that means is this point is not just a lonely point. It's a point that's a part of a line. And the line is defined by this equation. So let's find the x-intercept where y equals 0. Then x is the x-intercept. Okay, so and we don't have to be changing this equation again. We can continue to use it in standard format. We could go ahead and find the x-intercept in standard format. When the y-coordinate So to kind of explain it like this, x, y. When this y coordinate is equal to 0, that forces this x to be the y or the x-intercept. But you use this equation to calculate it. So now we have 2x plus, instead of y, I'm going to say 0 equals 2. Okay, so then we are going to, this 0, if 2x plus 0 is just plain 2x, so that's 2x plus equals 2, or 2x equals 2, and then we will divide both sides by 2, because 2 times x, that's multiplied. So in order to isolate the x, you must do the opposite function or the opposite operation, and you divide by 2 on both sides of the equation. And in this case, 2 over 2 is 1, so that cancels. 2 over 2 is 1. X ends up equaling 1. So you'll then have x equal to 1, because this 2 over 2 equals 1. Okay, so that is the x-intercept. And what we did there was we put in the value y as 0, and we calculated 2 for the x-intercept. So that point would then be where x is 2, 1, 2, and y is 0, nowhere. We don't go anywhere. So we end up on the x-axis. And that's what that x-intercept is supposed to do. It's supposed to cross this axis. Now we can draw a line. Okay, granted this line is very, okay, so those are 2 points on the graph. They're 2 special points. So this point is not correct. So let me say that again. Where y equals 0, or the x-intercept is 1. So that means I have to redraw this line. So because we really have a point of 1, 0. So this is too far over here. It's supposed to be here. Oh heavens. So the line really looks like that, and it doesn't look like this. Now I'm going to erase everything. So this line is going like this. If we calculate points, more points, in other words, if we set x equal to, say, -1, then you'll have a -2 plus y equal to, because -1 times +2 is -2. And then you'll add 2 to both sides, and you'll have y equals 4. So that would be 4, and you would have another point on the line. You would go -1, +1, 2, 3, 4 right there. So this point, and this point all make up the line.